Right, okay, seems like X-Plane is loading extremely slowly today. I'm going to give it one more minute, and then I'm just going to probably restart the loading of X-Plane, because it seems like it's crashed or something, I don't know. Just going to get on with pre-filing some of the other stuff for Vatsim. I don't know, usually clicking on other windows causes X-Plane to crash while loading, but doesn't seem like, at the moment it seems like it's crashed anyway, so we'll just wait and see, but just doing all those things, and then hopefully by then, yeah, it's just been stuck on like the first stage of loading for about 3 minutes, well, longer than that. The stream's been going 5 minutes, so doesn't look likely that we're going to be able to get into the sim this time round. Oh, hang on a minute, I think it's just loaded in. So that's the thing with X-Plane as well. I think it's crashed, and there we go. It's loaded. Okay, we're good. Don't worry, we're good. We're in. I clicked on other tabs and it was fine, so that's interesting. Right, let's just go ahead and get rid of that screen. Oh, it's raining here in Boston. Oh, and it's also very, very dark. It's 4 AM here in Boston at the moment, so it should be getting light by the time we get down to Pittsburgh later on. I think that's what it's called, isn't it? Pittsburgh? I think that's how they pronounce it. But yeah, it should get light by the time we get down there, so hopefully that is the case. Just check my audio is working. It's also very, very amazing. Cool, glad I haven't had a chance to do an audio test on OBS yet. And there we go. So there's 2 planes on the ground currently here in Boston. Pittsburgh is empty. And Boston at the moment, I haven't been able to get which runway is live because of the fact that I cannot... there's no planes flying in and out of Boston in real life at the moment, and their ATIS frequency is not available at the moment on live ATC. So, also I discovered the reason the camera was shaking, I accidentally pressed Shift and C. Wait, hang on a minute, I was going to say, the engines look like they're turned on. Why are they spinning round? I'm very sure they're not supposed to be doing that. I don't know, the fuel pumps are off, the engine start switches are off, and the fuel is off, so I have no idea why they're spinning round. I'm pretty sure that's not supposed to happen, but never mind, we'll just ignore it. Anyway, let's go ahead and connect the jetway up to this lovely MetroAir 737-800. Never flown this over in the US, apart from over in Canada and parts of the US with Aurora and Fly 2, but I've never flown it with MetroAir, and I've never flown it over on the East Coast. I very rarely fly on the East Coast, because there's not usually much offered, but when Fly UK redid all of their codeshare offerings earlier, about 2 months ago, this was one of the planes that was added to the fleet, and Boston was one of their bases that had a lot of new planes updated and a lot of new routes, so we've been taking advantage of one of those, flying down to Pittsburgh today. Flight time should be about an hour and a half on today's route, and that's about it really. Hopefully we're in for a pretty good flight. I'm just going to quickly ask on Unicom actually, just need to get everything set up here, so ground services, GPU connect, chocks set, and we can go ahead and open our forward entry door. Did it actually open? There. And we can go ahead and open also the cargo doors. And what we're going to do is go to ground handling, show control widget, and we'll just wait a little bit for jar design ground handling to pop up. Again, normally I do all the setup before the stream started, but I was a tiny bit late starting today, and also X-Plane decided that it wanted to be extremely slow loading up today. We won't put in a fuel truck because that will be put in by Zebo. So we'll go ahead and drive those up. And they are set to drive up, yeah? I think I can hear them. So we're good. Right. Ground power on the emergency lights. And before we do anything, we need to get some lighting in here, actually. It's very dark. So, because I can't really see what I'm doing here. We'll just get the battery on as well. If I can find it. I honestly can't see it at the moment. Zero's had a few updates as well. We've now got a no smoking sign rather than a chime. I guess that's now the new default. I might change a few of the settings later on. Battery on, you can see now, we can see a little bit more in here. Because some of the lights are on, you can see it's raining. Really not very nice weather here in Boston. I'll just grab it now. I haven't actually had a look yet at what on earth the weather is. The weather at the moment is okay. We are looking at 050 at 18 knots, gusting 29er, scattered 800, broken 1,300, overcast 3,000. It's 8 degrees, and the altimeter is 3002, so let's just set that now. Wow, yeah, this weather's not very nice here, is it? Really not very good. Yeah, so that's obviously got rain as well, so... Is it like that down in Pittsburgh? Let's just check. So, down in Pittsburgh, it's looking like the same sort of thing. Only we've got 4 miles visibility at Pittsburgh compared to 3 miles visibility in Boston. Few at 400, overcast at 600 feet, wow. Okay, so we've not got the nicest of weather today then. Well, that should be interesting. And, right, let's just get out and set up. So, seatbelts, no smoking signs on, and trim air on. Window heats, we'll turn them on now. Make sure all these are in the both position or the middle position, there we go. Because sometimes they're not set like that. And we get the IRSs into nav mode on both sides. Does this need to be turned on, the service interphone? I'm guessing it does, right? I don't know. It probably does. Packs are off, which is good. Engine bleeds can come off, we don't need those. Make sure the position light is in steady mode. And nav lights, they are the nav lights, I think. Okay, we're all good. Okay, we're good. Let's actually start loading the plane, and then we can go on with the rest of it. So forward service and aft service, and that's all the things we should need. Cool. So what we're going to do now is we're going to go ahead and do go to weight and payload, and our fuel today is 7,7658 on the fuel. In there, cool. And we're looking for a zero fuel weight of 58.0. So what we'll do, so that's zero fuel weight, 58.0. So what we'll do first is we'll put in our payload, which is 16.4, and then we'll adjust it further once it loads it on board. At the moment we're full of passengers, so yeah. So we'll let it load that on board, and then we'll just see if that's the correct zero fuel weight. So we're looking for 16.4 on the payload, there it is. That's a zero fuel weight of 59.5. We're looking for 58.0. So we want to go down to 15.1 on the payload, and that should then be 50. Okay, somehow it's 58.2. I don't understand the Zevo, to be honest. Sometimes it feels like it doesn't do the weights properly. There you go, 15.80. So that's bang on, cool. And what we're going to do now is call the fuel truck, and we're going to start flight leg, start service cruise, and that can just go there now. We'll leave it, and we'll get the rest of the plane set up. Meanwhile, I'm just going to do a quick notice on Boston traffic. Just quickly ask people what's the runway in use at the moment, because I haven't got much of a clue. To be honest, there's not actually anything heading into Boston at the moment, so we should be okay. There's one other plane on the ground. That's an American 2527, but it currently has no flight plan filed, so don't even know where it's going or what it's planning at the moment. So let's go on with our position in it then. So we're going to be, here you go, take it off the GPS left, the coordinates there for the IRS, put that in there, and we're here at, okay, 15 right departing. So 15 right departing, we've been informed by another pilot, so that should hopefully be accurate. And K-Boss, because I don't know the area. I literally have never flown into Boston Airport, so I don't know what kind of runways they use here. Right, so let's go ahead and get the rest of this stuff planned. We're a bit slow today because of all the normally I'd have some stuff set up. Right, Metro 5415 is our call sign, and that's about it for now. Go to performance in it. Zero fuel weight is set at 58.0. We'll wait for the rest of the stuff for the fuel. So we're going to go over to departure arrival, departure. We've been informed it's 15 right for departure today, and we're going to be taking the Revs 4 departure. And from Revs, let's get our route up. Hello in the chat. So from Revs, it's direct to CTR. So like centre or something. CTR, which is, we've got a choice of 2, Chester, so it's the top one, and then it's direct to HNK, and then it's direct to Conji, where's J? There. That's in there, and then it's J190 to SLT, and that's it then. And it's our route in there. It's flight time today of about an hour and a half. Cruising today at flight level 340. That is the plan for today. So that should be pretty good. That's in there then. And then arriving, we're going to be doing, at the moment we're planning, okay, so we're planning at the moment the Haynes 7. And from where that dumps us, what's the weather looking like in Pittsburgh? So it's 36010, so it'll definitely be a runway 32 rather than a runway 10. Is that the main runway there, though? Yeah, they're the main runways. Actually, no, the main runway is 28s, the 28s. So we're going to take 28 centre. How about 28 centre? It's the medium length runway closer to the terminal, so we'll take 28 centre. And then I guess we'll modify it in the future. So, hang a minute. So 28 centre doesn't appear to have an ILS, at least not from. So we'll take 28 right at the moment then. Although it appears that the okay, so it appears that the arrival we've selected doesn't actually go to there. Haynes 7, SLT transition, and then ILS. I'm at 28 left. Does that make a different path? Now, we'll take 28 right, and then hopefully it's all good. We'll take 28 right for now. ILS 28 right, no transition, and then hopefully that should be good. I'll just have a quick look at the arrival chart. And it's going to be, so for runway 28, so from Haynes, go to Myron, and then vectors. So we'll be probably taking vectors from, so from Myron, rather than turning left, we're going to proceed straight to the ILS. But that means that no matter what the 28s are that we select, it'll be the same arrival, the same star, no matter whether we use 28 centre, left or right. It doesn't matter. That's kind of nice. Well, this departure chart's a bit tricky, because they've got like all different runways on there. So it looks a bit messed up. Oh, by the way, our ILS is just aligned. That was a bit quick. I don't think I've set it to anything. Right, let's have a quick look at our payload. You can see the fuel is almost loaded on board. It's not quite finished yet, so we're not going to plug anything else in. Also, the ILS isn't totally finished aligning. But we're mostly ready. So what we're going to do is we're going to start the APU. And we're going to put that into strobe and steady. And that should be about ready. That's about it now. I don't think we're going to have fuel in the centre tank. Obviously, it's still loading on board the fuel at the moment. So we're just waiting, and then we'll have a little look over our route. You can see the IRS is now pretty much exactly accurate. We're squawking 2000. I'm liking all the lights in the cabin right now, but obviously once we push back from the terminal, those lights will probably disappear. So I think we should get some lights on. Here is, again, I'm not very good at the lights here in the Boeing. There's so many different lights. Is it the background light? No. I want the one that, like, highlights everything in orange. Like, all the screens and things, it highlights them in orange. Like that one. Panel bright. Have we got a panel bright on this one? There we go. That's what we wanted. Panel brightness. And there should also be a panel brightness for this side as well. There it is. Cool. So, that means all our lights and everything are ready to go. We'll get the left aft pump on, fuel pump for the APU. You can see the fuel is now fully on board, so we're going to go ahead and do all of this. Cruising state, no, cost index is 25, and then we'll just do the last bits now. Is the APU fired up? It is, so that's good. What I'm going to do is go to plugins, better pushback. You know what, let's just plan where we're actually going to push first. So, going off 10 right, oh my word, there's a mess of runways here at Boston. What is this? Well, 15 right, sorry. And That means we're pushing back to the left. It's quite a nice taxi for us, actually. So, better push back, start push back.
Ground to cockpit. Please show me where you
We could stay within the non-movement area. We could do that. I don't think I'm... We could go, yeah, if we stay within the non-movement area, look, that means we stay out of everyone else's way. That's what that dotted line means. So we push back onto that dotted line, and then make our way onto the taxiway, or we could just go all the way out to the taxiway. Since there's no one else here, really, I think we'll just go out to the taxiway. Like that.
Ground to cockpit. Tow is driving up.
Cool. And our reserve fuel for today is... Where's our fuel list? There it is. It's going to be 2.8. 2.8. Get that in there. And cruising stay at flight level 340. The cruise winds are 231 at 073. Quite windy, as you'd probably expect. Ice deviation is +6. +6. There we go. Execute that. It's a very long runway, 10,000 feet. We're going to do a D rate of 1 and a D rate of 2 on the climb. Takeoff, flaps 5 today. Centre of gravity. Okay, it's not calculating the centre of gravity for us. It doesn't want to.
All doors and hatches are closed. Ready to connect.
It doesn't know what my weight is, right? It's weird. The Zebo sometimes gives you your weight, and then sometimes doesn't give you it. It's really weird. And we're going to plan to burn today about 4 tons of fuel. Right, hopefully, it will give us a centre of gravity now. No? Okay, doesn't look like it's going to. That's fine. That's fine. Well, we can just grab it from here, don't worry. I believe it... Which centre of gravity is it? I'm guessing it's the gross weight centre of gravity, because that's the centre of gravity we'll actually be taking off with.
So connected and bypass pin inserted. Release parking brake.
Gives us a trim value of about 4.5, which we're just setting there. And we are on APU power, so that's good. Let's go ahead and get our beacon light on. That will stop all the ground crew back there. And fuel pumps can all come on now. And E-leg gens can come on. APU bleed can come on. And pitot heats as well. That's everything all good now. So what we need to do is go to the doors page under ground services, make sure everything's closed, which it is, and then go to ground handling and drive away and then hide. So there we go, that's everything all good and ready to go. Cool, we need to set this to the V2 speed of 147. 147. Flight directors, left side and right side, ANAV and VNAV, and we can also on the all throttles, and that's all good then. So all we need to do now is make sure that the ground power is gone, which we'll do now, and that's about it, I think. So we're just going to advise that we're pushing back. Boston traffic, Metro 5415, push and start, stand 30, taxi runway 15 right after push, Boston traffic. Okay, release parking brakes.
Starting pushback, and you may start engines.
And the yaw damper needs to come on now as well. Now the plane has power. You can see back the plane goes now. Rep, clear. Forgot to disconnect the jetway. Sorry. Right, over to ground on engine number 2. And it's rising. Set all brakes to RTO. We're okay, don't worry, and that can come on, TCAS, and weather alert system can come on as well. And I thought I'd hidden the seats in the Zebo. Maybe the latest update reset all my control configs. Let's just do that now. Probably did reset a few things, didn't it? There we go. Hide cockpit seating. Cool. Let's introduce fuel engine number 2. I think they've changed the sounds on this Zebo. Sounds better than it used to. Also, we've only got 2 landing lights today. That must be another config thing. There's no fuel in the centre tank. Yeah, they've definitely changed the sound since I last flew the Zebo. There has been a few updates into it, since I last flew it, so I guess that may be one of them. Right, make sure the wipers, we'll put them over to low for now. It's really a horrible day here in Boston, isn't it? And that engine's fully on, over to continuous mode it goes, and then engine 1 over to ground. And we'll make sure we're on that engine's power. Look at this. It looks absolutely beautiful, I think. Absolutely beautiful. Who needs Microsoft Flight Sim for a good looking flight sim, eh?
Operation complete. Go ahead and set the parking brake.
Right, engine 1 fuel introduce. Parking brake set.
Disconnecting tow. Stand by.
Cool. And the runway heading is 150, so we'll just set that in there. And then we'll grab a quick look at our departure. So we're departing straight out to Fox, and then we're going to be to Borough. We need to be below 250 knots, that's fine. And then to Huo, there's a speed restriction of 290, that's fine. And just climbing out to Revs, and there's no altitude restrictions on the whole thing, so this can go right up to 340. Right, engines are started, so this can go into continuous. Engine power on, APU off.
And bypass pin has been removed.
Engine bleeds on, APU bleed off.
And have fun up there.
And packs can go over to auto, and the isolation valve can go over to auto. And everything should be all ready. What's that forward entry? Oh, don't tell me the jetway meant that the door was still open. I literally closed it. Oh well. Never mind. I guess me disconnecting the jetway or doing something with the jetway meant that it changed how the doors were set. Right. Flaps 5 set. Trim value has already been set. Okay, we're ready to go. Taxi lights on. Let's get our logo lights on as well. And I also just go the runway turn off, so for extra brightness, and you don't use them on the runway. Although it depends on the it depends on the airline you're flying for. They all have different procedures, so you know. Boston traffic, Metro 5415, taxi via Alpha to runway 15 right, revs for departure. Boston traffic. Alright, let's get going. They've definitely updated some of the sounds on the Zebo, right? It's set for up to 10, so we'll go back to 5. And everything's looking all good up there. We don't need anti-ice as of yet, I don't believe. So, we'll just do a quick recall check. Everything's coming back good. I can't see the checklist on the yoke. And also we need to press a few buttons, don't we? Is it Z? Yes, there we go. And now I press that, that means we can now control the rudder using the yoke. And everything else is all ready, so away we go, about on time. We pushed back about 5 minutes early, so that's pretty good. Especially considering the late start. I managed to get the whole plane prepped in about 15 minutes, which is pretty good, considering I haven't flown it for a while. So, take that. Well, this weather's horrible, look at it. Really nasty weather. So it should be getting brighter by the time we get down to Pittsburgh. It'll be about 5:30 local. Actually, no, it'll be about 6 AM local time by the time we get down there. And sunrise is at 5:53, so it should be beginning to get dark, beginning to get light by the time we get to Pittsburgh. So that should be quite nice. We'll get to see the sun, which is quite rare when flying over in the US when I'm in the UK. Because of time zones. But yeah, so we're doing pretty good here. Just make sure everything's all good. You know, let's get our wing lights on as well. It's so dark. And then we're going to make a right turn onto Bravo.
Okay, the cabin is secured. Have a good flight.
Oh, there you go. So turning on the wing light was what triggered the announcement to say that we're ready for takeoff. So obviously that is a step you need to do. I wish I could see the checklist though. I honestly can't see it. Is there a little thing down here? There we go. I thought there was a light that allowed you to see it. It'd be a bit stupid if there wasn't a light that allowed you to see it. Right, all that's been done, so I'm happy with that. Apart from the landing lights, we need to do that. Is this the runway hold short point? No. I was going to say it looked a bit like a runway hold short point, but it wasn't. I thought that'd be a bit further up. Also, I've only just noticed we must have an active ILS frequency tuned, yeah. There you go, we'll go back to no ILS frequency tuned. It's because the last plane I flew, I think, might have been the Embraer. Oh, wait a minute, I probably could have pulled onto Zulu, onto the runway. We'll use this one anyway. Boston traffic, Metro 5415, lining up via Lima, runway 15 right, takeoff, revs for departure, Boston traffic. Okay, landing lights can come on, taxi lights can come off, and all the lights are set up and ready to go, and the engine start switches into continuous, quick recall check, and we're all good. Okay, cool, let's get out of here then. Tight clock is set, and toga button is hit, or the, there we go, press the mic button, that puts on auto throttle, because, you know, there's no toga button in the real plane, but it's the flight sim thing, because we don't have the same kind of things. Whoa, this wind is blowing us. I have to use the bit of the rudder to keep us in check. 80 knots. But obviously, remember, I don't actually have rudder pedals, so it's quite difficult doing it with a button. But we're doing an okay job of it. V1. Rotate. Wait, this is some interesting weather. Rotate.
Positive brake.
Gear up. And there we go. We're up in the air, don't worry. This is definitely some interesting weather, though, I'll say that. And picks the plane up. 400 feet. Quite a steep climb now. Out. To keep advantage of the speed.
1,000.
There we go. Up we go. There's 1,000 feet. And then we'll start leveling the plane off a bit more now. Look at that weather. And the plane goes back to climb 2 mode. On its auto throttle that is working. I just need to not move the throttle now. And we'll go flaps 2. Oi! I think we broke out the cloud a tiny bit there. Well, there was only quite a thin layer, although we'll see there's still more cloud to come because we can still see everything else. Right, flaps 1. Boston traffic, Metro 5415, airborne. And flaps up. And we'll pull more up now because this plane's having some. We're around to 250 knots. The reason it's saying 230 because the flaps aren't fully retracted yet. But definitely interesting with this weather. Right, let's go ahead and enable the autopilot. Engine start switches can go to the off position, and the logo lights can come off. That's all we need to do for now. This is definitely some interesting weather. And lock the landing gear, disarm the auto brakes. There we go. Look at this weather, look at it. Wow. I'm taking that as a screenshot. That's crazy weather. Never seen it quite that bad in X-Plane. And through the clouds we go now. Hopefully, it's 7 degrees outside, so we don't have to worry about icing. Don't worry about that. I'm going quite slowly because of the D rate 2 on the takeoff. And I think it stopped raining now, so we can go, because we're above the clouds, so we can go ahead and put the wipers into park mode. Look at that, that just looks beautiful, doesn't it? Crazy. Got some weather over on that far side. And you can see we're up to 250 knots now. I don't know, the plane must have had a bit of a slowdown, switching over to autopilot for some reason, and make ourselves a right turn. Also today is the iRacing Coke 600, by the way. I was thinking of doing it, but you know, I want to do flying instead. I don't feel like a 4-hour NASCAR race. They also moved it an hour forward because of the time zone change, which meant it ended a bit late. Didn't get a chance to have any lunch. Anyway, we're here on the departure. We're past the point where we need to be above, no, below 250 knots. So as soon as we're above 10,000 as well, that means we can go straight up. The heading after Jate is going to be 202. So I'll set that. And you can see, look at this, lots of cloud. Can't really see a lot at the moment, and it'll probably be like this going into Pittsburgh. Some pretty interesting weather, for certain. And there we go, look at that. You can see the sun is rising over there, look, from the east. So the sun does rise from the east, right? I'm being stupid, aren't I? Obviously. Right. Okay, we're pretty good, I think. Just coming up to 10,000 feet. That was a very interesting departure. Lots of wind, and certainly... we'll set, actually, I need to set this panel there, look, to 34 rather than 31. Right, and passing 10,000 feet. Landing lights off. And I think the rest of the lights can all stay the same, because I've already turned the logos off. And all of that. Whoa, bit of turbulence there. As the plane speeds up. You can see we're clear of most of the weather now, though. There you go, look at that. Going to free camera, look at that. That's nice. But yeah, let's go ahead and stop the camera shake. What you do, go to view, and then camera, cinema, like, very, I don't know how to say that, but yeah, that makes the camera shake around, so you need to turn that off. What do sunglasses do? Oh, they just literally just make it slightly dimmer. We don't need those. Unless it doesn't have much effect because it's so dark. Right, heading after Kenway is going to be 301. Right, up to 80 nautical mile range on here now. Because we're mostly out of all the craziness now. We can probably turn off the seatbelt signs once we're heading straight. We'll probably do it passing 18,000 to be honest. Transition altitude here in the US. That was a lovely departure, definitely. And then it should be getting a bit lighter by the time we get to Pittsburgh, so that'll be nice. It's kind of the benefit of flying from the East Coast. It is a little bit, just generally, the weather's a bit, well, no, not well, the weather, the time zone is just a little bit closer to where I am, so it's kind of more likely to be daytime conditions. Right, let's just go forward as well on our route quickly, just making sure that the ILS is set up. So from Hiron, what we're going to be planning is direct to Coffee, like that. That's quite a nice little plan. That's actually quite a nice little interception onto the ILS as well. I like that. There you go. So just setting that up, making sure it's all ready to go. You can see it there. 450 miles to go to Pittsburgh. Obviously, we will have quite a bit of headwind today. I already knew that. You always get a lot of headwind around here. Probably winds off the Atlantic. Yeah, we've got a headwind of about 100 miles overall. So it's a 490 mile flight, but it's like we're flying 585 miles. So it's, yeah, 96 miles of headwind in total over the flight. So it's pretty crazy. But that was expected, obviously. It's not a very long flight though, so it doesn't really matter. Right, I'm just going to go ahead and unpin all the charts from Boston. Cool. There we are. So, there we are, flying above the clouds, you can see. Let's go ahead and turn off the seatbelt signs now. And everything else is looking all good. You can see it's getting a bit lighter now inside here. And standard pressure. And then we'll just do the last bit of checklist. So you can see we've set the air conditioning, engine start switches have been set, landing gear is up and locked, oil brake is off, flaps are up, and the altimeters are now on standard. So there we go, everything has been done on that checklist, as it should have been. And now we just need to climb up. Let's take a proper nice look at this livery. Look, I think this is a really nice livery on the 737. I think the MetroAir livery really suits the 73. Yeah. And again, we don't really need to be worrying about what kind of runway we're using in Pittsburgh. We're currently the only plane on the whole of Vatsim network to be interested in Pittsburgh. It's actually really quiet today, the Vatsim network. Even if we'd gone to Gatwick, no ATC. No ATC in Gatwick. Right now, the whole of the UK, there is ground in Heathrow, ground in Stansted, approaching Manchester, and that's it. Nothing else. It's very quiet on the network today. No idea why. I guess people just don't feel like flying right now. Oh my word, it's broken at 400 feet in Pittsburgh now. That weather's mad. 350 at 10 knots. So the weather is, the wind itself isn't too bad, but we may need to do an auto land. We'll wait and see. Does this thing even do auto land? I don't think I've ever tried an auto land in a 7.3. I'm not sure if it does one. So I'll have to look up how to do one of those. I've only ever done them in an Airbus. In an Airbus, it's enabled both autopilots. Whoa! Enabling one autopilot. Look, disabling both one autopilot when both are selected disables all of them. Who would have thought? But there we go, look at that. So you can tell it's getting lighter, and then by the time we actually descend, it should have got even lighter, which hopefully will be quite nice. Could do with it getting a bit lighter. And then I don't know how long we're going to be at cruise. Probably quite a while. It's a surprisingly long flight for the amount of distance covered, thanks to that wind. Alright, only 10,000 feet to go until we are landing. No, until we're at cruise. What's wrong with me? Until we're landing. Also, I need to have a quick look at some of the configs on this Zebo now, because we've had a few changes. I don't know exactly where you do it. Is it under hardware? No. I'm not totally sure where it is. Realism? No. Visual effects? Is it there? No. There you go. Display and variants. That'll be it. So you can see systems. There's a few new things, look, that are now in the plane, like the pressurization panel. You can make it analog or digital. You can change the FMS. You can have different models of FMS, look. I'm guessing is this all done per livery, or is this done... Like, because in FSX, this is done per livery. But in X-Plane, I don't know whether it's done... I really don't know, because I've never really played around with it. Everything's looking good up there. Plane's all good. And you can see it's definitely getting lighter in here. So by the time we land, it should be, you know, pretty much daytime. I mean, dawn. When is dawn? Because that's when the sun actually first kind of starts properly coming up, and that's when you can see, yeah, that's when you can really see it starting to get light. 5:21, so literally in about 40 minutes. What is it in Boston? Because it'll probably be earlier in Boston. Boston, whoa, it's 3:54 in Boston. Oh, I mean, no, that's, thank you, it's looking at Boston, UK. I was going to say, it's 4:38, so you can see, obviously, because we're still very close to Boston, so you can see that's where, you know, there you go, in fact, there is basically the sun, so I think, you know, if we were flying the other way, if we were going from Pittsburgh to Boston on this flight, it'd probably almost daylight by the time we got to Boston, rather than just sun rising. But yeah, pretty good. So we're the only plane heading to Pittsburgh right now, so it doesn't really matter what's going on with that. We've just got the airport to ourselves. Very slow climb at the moment, that's kind of expected. We're going up to Mach 0.77 today, and then we'll resume. We'll go into Mach speed climb mode, which should mean a bit of a quicker climb at first. I'm liking the auto throttle working properly without me having to idle it. That's what happens if you hit the mic button and then don't adjust your throttle afterwards. So that's kind of something I've learnt now that you can do in the Zebo. Because in the Zebo, if I move my throttle right now, just a tiny bit, it would go to 0%. And then it goes back up then. The auto throttle takes back over. It's really annoying. I'm pretty sure it'll do it now, look. There you go, move my throttle slightly and you can see instantly just instantly cuts the throttle, so it's annoying. But if I keep it at idle and let the auto throttle, so normally I have to enable the auto throttle automatically once in the air, but you can do it using the mic button on the ground before you take off. It's basically like a toggle switch, because obviously, unlike the Airbus, it doesn't have detents in the throttle. It doesn't have little notches, like it doesn't have little settings. It's just, wait, what? Okay. Maybe my chair nudged my yoke then. The autopilot just randomly turned off. Who knows? Yeah, look, it's when I hit. I think I clicked around here, and I think it changes the trim maybe. Interesting. But yeah, it just knocks the autopilot out. I have to watch that. Don't click in that area of the plane because it just disables the autopilot. Who would have thought? We're over to max speed mode now. Mach decimal 77 it's supposed to be. It's doing Mach decimal 764. Maybe that's our climb speed, but not our cruise speed. I don't know, we're doing a cost index of 25, so I thought that going a bit quicker than that. Cost index 25 is pretty normal. Maybe it's because of the wind. Obviously, I told it the wind. It's a lot of headwind. You can see, look at that, 372 knots. We're going really slowly. Really, really slowly. Simply we've actually planned the optimum flight level, and yet it's still not great. I will go a quick look at the wind. So at 34,000, it's quite a bit of. It's about 80 knot winds. And it's roughly the correct direction. I think it's maybe slightly more of a headwind than it should be, but not by much. The wind is about the same strength up at flight level 390. So maybe I should get Active Sky for X-Plane. I've been thinking about it for a while, because you can actually get it for more than one computer now with X-Plane. You used to be able, you have to basically, now you pay per account for their X-Plane and P3D versions, but for their older FSX thing, you pay per installation rather than per account. So obviously per account means you can still only use it. It means you can have it on two computers, but you can still only use it once at a time. You can't use both computers at the same time. But obviously that's not an issue. The issue is two separate computers, so that's fine. Also, iRacing, it's kind of crept up on me. I haven't done much iRacing content in the last few weeks. I have been playing it, trust me. I just haven't been making much videos on it. It's literally the last week of the season next week, which has really crept up on me, so I'm interested. Well, I'm definitely interested in the new season. They've got the Formula V coming. They've also released some plans for a lot of new fixed series, fixed F3. A lot of people have been theorising that there may be an open wheel license coming to iRacing. I have no idea where they've come from. All I've seen is in the forums. It's not confirmed. iRacing have not said anything about it whatsoever. But for some reason, people seem to think that it's possibly a thing. I don't know why. In fact, I really don't know why. But that's what they seem to think. So I'm just going to search now. Open wheel license. But yeah, for some reason, people seem to think that they seem to think that possibly, because I think it's because of the Formula V, which is a new rookie car. But obviously the rookie cars are always free, and they're typically backed up with their own license, like the Rallycross for the Rallycross for dirt road, or the Mazda for road, or the street stock for oval, or the dirt street stock for dirt oval. All the categories have their own kind of rookie car. So I thought, so that's what people were thinking. But I honestly don't know. I'm really hoping there is, because I think I will test out the F3 then more, potentially, if it doesn't affect my main license. Or maybe everyone else would think the same thing, and those races would be carnage. Who knows? I don't know. But yeah, I'm definitely really interested in. I really don't know if there are any plans. I don't know. Okay, I've actually been looking at the forums just now, and there's really not much in the way of nothing else really popping up about open wheel licenses. We'll see. Anyway, but we'll see. Hopefully, they will bring out an open wheel license. But anyway, back to flight simming. Back to flight simming. Also, the channel's actually up to 154 subs now as well, which is cool. Gained like 2 in the last week, so thumbs up for that. Definitely. Did the weather just refresh then? I feel like the weather just refreshed in the sim. Let's have a quick look outside. Look at that, it's definitely getting lighter now, look at that. So quiet in the cockpit compared to outside. Probably because of how it's set up. Right, you can see 106 miles for our next waypoint now. The waypoints are obviously very spread out. Spread out being the US. You get up to your main route and then it's basically just a straight line then between different VORs and whatever. So usually how it works out. And then yeah, runway 32 we could have used in Pittsburgh, but I didn't like the look of it. We're up at cruise now. How long are we actually here for? I suspect about an hour. No, 40 minutes. 40 minutes we're up here and back down. I don't know why I thought an hour actually. It's only an hour and a half flight, so it would probably never be an hour. But I'm going to get all the charts up for Pittsburgh now, just a bit early. Making sure they're all pinned and ready to go. Is it ILS 28 right we're planning, yes? And then it's going to be airport and parking stands. It's quite a small airport really. Its main bit anyway. It hasn't got that much. There's a north ramp and a south ramp, and being code share, there won't be any planned stands. No, there aren't any stands for use, so I think we'll probably be taking the Delta stands, I suspect. I think I quite like the look of those. But it's actually quite a small airport. It has like so many runways. It has 4 runways, and yet its main airline terminal, the airside terminal, is really small. Well, it looks small anyway. I mean, it's got, I don't know, it's not exactly tiny, but it's certainly not like massive. It's probably got, it's got 80, not quite 80 stands. They seem to skip. Oh, okay, so it's not 80 stands. It's about 40 stands because they skip some numbers. But yeah, it's only about 40 stands, which is really not very big. But yeah, we'll be taking, as somebody suggested, runway 32, which is perfect for the wind, but it's only 8,000 feet compared to all the others, which are about 10,500 to 11,500 feet. The one we're taking is the 10,500. But that's closest to the terminal where I'm probably going to park, so that's why we're taking that one. Again, there's at the moment, at least, that there's no planes departing Pittsburgh, so I can't gather anything from that. Oh, I've just accidentally disconnected the AVI tab from the. I've just disconnected the tablet from the main thing. How do I put that back? Why can't I put that back? Okay. I need to find the right place to click here. Wait, what? What have I done? What have I actually done? I seriously don't know what I've done. Where's the tablet gone? It's just vanished. Okay, I guess we'll have to use the other tablet for now, will we? How have I done that? Where's it gone? That's an interesting one. How do I actually get that back? I've never done that before, ever. Never done that before. What have I done? Seriously, what have I done, guys? How have I done that? I've literally never done that before. Okay, well, we've lost the tablet, wherever it is. I mean, we can manage without it. We can just use the other side, but I'm a little bit confused. How did I even do that? I've never done that before, ever. Is that a bug? I've literally never... I can't click it back, look. I can't click it back. Okay. Yeah, oh. There was something to click then. Seriously, what did I do? Okay, let's just ignore that then. I've lost the tablet. Why did that happen? Is it just this tablet that's been, like, moved? Oh well, yeah, I guess we've lost the tablet. That's really weird. I'm just gonna look it up. Am I being really stupid or something? Because I can't. That means that, like, later when I come to, like, open the doors and things when we land, I can't do it from the main position. I have to do it from... Right, Zebo, tablet, disappear. Right, plugins, Avi tab, toggle tablet. No, it doesn't do anything. That hasn't done it. Okay, that's interesting. Okay, press the pen holder at the window. I'm being informed. That's the pen holder, right? That looks like a pen holder. And I'm pressing it, and nothing. Is that it? Oh, there we go. Yes, that's the pen holder. Cool, I've got it back. How have I never discovered that that's actually a button on the Zebo? I've never discovered it. Weirdly, it's reset the position of the tablet for me. Well, there you go, that's that mystery solved. Wow. I've somehow never discovered that before. Honestly, the 737 is a cool looking plane. Whoa, what did I just do? The 737 is such a cool looking plane, I think. It's a really cool looking plane. Should I have a little look out of the cabin? At the MetroAir plane. Oh, honestly, I need to find out how to set camera views in X-Plane. Because this is like really... I need to discover how to like set wing views and things. Because in FSX you can just quite easily do it. There doesn't seem to be wing views in this game though, does there? See? There's just nothing. Because look at that. I'd love to just assign that as a view. I honestly think X-Plane looks so beautiful. Is the flight deck door locked? There doesn't seem to be a... This is on auto, which I'm guessing should be locked, but... Who knows? Doesn't matter. Can you change those things? I think this is 738. Can you modify those? I don't think you can. In real life, they sometimes use that for like the flight number that they're operating. But no, I haven't. Don't think you can modify it. Shame. If you could, that'd be really good. That'd be like a really nice little customizable thing. You can modify though. Well, there's not much delay on the stream today. YouTube's got better, I guess. Must have. It's getting light here. What is the altitude down in Pittsburgh? I'm just going to set it now. It is 1,200 feet, and I didn't think it was that high up. Okay, cool. $50 miles to the next VOR, which is Hancock. I honestly thought that would be taken, like HNK, like Hong Kong maybe. I honestly thought that'd be one of those. I guess not. Just quickly refresh the weather. It hasn't updated yet. There should be some new weather in about 20 minutes. So I'll be keeping an eye on that, see what's going on. Got a plane nearby. Delta 1235 from Salt Lake to Boston. It's not going near us, but interesting. There's also a business jet. Interesting. They're a business jet, 45,000 feet, going well, obviously very quickly because they got the opposite of the wind we've got. Look at that, 366 knots. I've only just noticed how poor our airspeed is. Wow. That's what happens in the US though. The wind on this part of the US is crazy. Always. 84 knot headwind. Like, seriously. Not great. Never mind. It's very quiet inside this plane. It's getting a lot lighter now, that's nice. Can I actually tell from these lights? Or no, not yet. Yeah, I'd say so. So you always have them up slightly. No, I have them off fully. Like this one. I think we could turn that one off too. This one I like to keep a bit on. Otherwise it gets too dim, so we'll keep it like that. Because yeah, it's definitely getting lighter now. You can see there. That's that's literally like bright morning sky there. Still dark ahead of us though. That'll be clearing by the time we get there. And we'll get a pretty much daytime view of Pittsburgh. Right, we're only half an hour from descent, so we'll be in like 15 or so minutes, well, 20 minutes, doing our arrival kind of checks and briefing. And we're mostly ready in terms of charts. So we'll wait. Oh, hang on a minute. There was some new weather just 40 minutes after. The wind is now 020 at 11 knots. Broken at 300 feet and raining. Wow. Wow. 300 feet broken. That's some interesting weather. We'll need an ILS approach for sure then. The thing is, that weather is now beginning to become in favour of runway 10. What are they using in real life? I'll just check on my ATC, see if they have the ATIS. Pittsburgh. There we go, we do have the ATIS. So this is the real life ATIS from, well, from real life. Off live ATC. Let's have a quick look. Quick listen. Whoa, bit of a weather refresh there. Doesn't look like it's working, sadly. No, I don't think the feed's working. Oh, that's a shame. Either it's down, because technically the airport... Actually, the airport is open now. It's gone 5 o'clock.
Movement on the ramp is at pilot operator discretion. Notices to airmen. Taxiway Bravo 8 closed. Charlie 5 closed. Taxiway Delta 3 closed. Taxiway Foxtrot 2 closed. Taxiway Charlie closed between Taxiway Bravo and Taxiway Charlie 4. Taxiway...
Actually, we'll just listen on... We'll listen on flight radar. Get it on flight radar. The runway, because it's just occurred to me that flights have started down in Pittsburgh now. Oh, they haven't. No. Anyway, I don't know. We'll wait for yeah. The thing is, there's literally no one else on Vatsim, so I'm just going to use runway 28 for now. The thing is, the weather is really like quite far away from that now. It's been varying around a little bit, but. So yeah, minus RA is light rain. I'm just looking it up now on... There's a wiki page. It's quite useful for all of the... And BR, it means mist. French for mist. BR. So BR is mist. Unless is that the same in the US, or... Because in France apparently it is. It's not appearing on the US, but I guess it must be. So yeah, so it's light rain and misty we're looking at. So we're looking at some interesting weather, I think. But yeah, we're looking at a... oh, so they have different remarks then. I want to know, what are the remarks? Oh, there you go. So the remarks are just the... that's good. Okay, so the remarks are just all the little... So, okay, so the P is the amount of 0.0 something inches of rain. So very little rain out there. Okay, cool. No problem with that. Okay, so we're looking at misty and light rain, and then we'll keep an eye on the weather. At the moment, I'll probably just stick to using 2.8 because it gives us a shorter flight, and also because there's no one else in the area. So, because the weather at the moment is a crosswind, no matter what runway we land on. That's the thing. It doesn't matter what runway we land on because it's an 8. It's it's basically the wind is either 14. It's either 140 degrees out or 100 degrees out. There's not a lot of difference. And it could shift either way. It's been from 350 to 020 throughout the flight, just kind of flicking. So we'll see. Again, there should be another weather update hopefully by the time I get down there, but I'm not sure. Right, it's pretty much daytime now, actually, which is pretty crazy. I didn't think it'd be getting quite this bright. That's nice, obviously. Also, how do I turn off that light at the top? I want to turn that off. Or is it automatic? Because I can't see a button for it. Actually, I bet it's this button. I bet it's that light there. Yeah. The movement on that headlamp is so dodgy. There we go. Cool. Hope everyone is enjoying the stream. It's actually been quite quiet in here today. Right, oh, tell me a bit of weather on the weather radar I've just noticed. And also our speed is down to just 350 knots. Wow. How lovely. Crawling along now, practically. Like, you can see the sun's actually starting to get bright ahead of us now as well, so that'll definitely be bright for when we go into Pittsburgh. It's still, it's a bit early to do our arrival stuff now. 20 minutes till descent, so not too long. ETA down Pittsburgh, about 40 minutes away. And just to do a quick check, actually, what we need, I don't think we'll need anti-ice. It's 8 degrees. So I don't think we'll need anti-ice in Pittsburgh. Altimeter is 2983 at the moment. Obviously transition altitude 18,000 as always in the US. So that should be okay. .45 miles to the next waypoint, and then what is SLT? What waypoint's that? Slate Run. That's an. It's not actually a name of a place. I can't see a place on the map called that. Must be. And you know what? Let's have a quick look at our arrival. Just make sure that we know what we're doing. So at Grace, we've got to be expecting at 10,000. But obviously that's expect. Remember, it's not be at 10,000. It's that's only if there's ATC online. But I'm going to set it up. You can see at Grace we're basically by 10,000 anyway. So just pop it in there. So it really doesn't change our flight by a lot anyway. Probably makes our descent like 1 minute earlier or something. Doesn't really change much of the plans. And then to Myron. Hey, actually, yeah. Let's run through our arrival now. I've got a bit of spare time, so we'll do that. So you can see there to Haynes, after Grace, and then to Myron, and then Coffee. So it's pretty simple arrival into the airport. Checking the ILS, Coffee is only at 7 DME. So I wouldn't mind possibly intercepting the ILS a tiny bit earlier at Kurz, possibly. And Coffee needs to be 4,000 or above, and then 3,000 at Zyko. We're going to set 4,000 at Coffee. And then what I'm going to do is I'm going to put Kurz in as well as a waypoint. Oh mate, that's the wrong place. Just type it in again, because there. That's the correct place. So you can see it just gives us a tiny bit extra of a. It's a bit of a nicer landing, and we need to be at 5,000. 5,000 or above at Kurz, and it's 4,000 at Coffee, and then 3,000 at Zyko for the start of the ILS. So that's good. So you can see I've basically just put that there just to make the transition onto the ILS just a bit nicer at 10 DME rather than 7 DME. It's fine. The ILS decision height is going. There's no option, it doesn't seem, for a Cat 1 or no. There isn't an option for a Cat 2 or 3 approach. Looking at this, is there? It doesn't look like there is. So our minimums are literally just that. I can't see anywhere for a Cat 1. Well, we should be no for a Cat 2 or 3. I mean, we should be good. It is going to be a 1374 is the Barrow minimums. Which is 200 feet above the ground, so we should be out of the clouds by then, hopefully. And that's good. And the ILS is going to be 111.7, and the final approach course is 281. Cool. So that should be it, I think. Now, airport elevation's already been set, and we'll do our landing speed actually. So what we'll do, we'll go to fuel weight and balance, performance on landing, flaps 30, runway 28 right. Refresh the weather, no new weather at the moment. It's going to be 020 at 11. Which you can see, it's only a 2-knot tailwind actually, and then an 11-knot crosswind. So it's mainly the crosswind that we need to think about. So the tailwind versus headwind really doesn't matter. Temperature is 8 degrees. And the QNH, why is that in QNH rather than, do I need to flip this out? No, this is already in inches. Who knows? I guess, does it matter? Can I put it in 2983? Yeah, okay, let me do that, fine. Brakes, all brakes are going to be 2, I think. Whoa, bit of a refresh there. Speed brake auto, reverses, can't do anything else other than that. Currently our gross weight is 62.8, and we're going to be looking to burn another 1,000 tonne of fuel. So we're going to be doing 67? No, 62, wasn't it? Yeah, 62.7 as our landing weight, and it's saying we should add 5 on there. All brakes 2 is what was selected. You can see it's a 3,000 metre runway, 3,100 metres, so all brakes 2 is easily good enough. Easily good enough. And it's going to be 138 is the landing speed, and then we'll add 5 knots to that to make 143. So that's all good. Let's just put this back into map mode now. And there we are. So that's basically everything all set up for the landing now. Wait, what's that red light there? Is that a reflection or something? I don't know what though. What's reflecting that red light there? No, it's just a weird X-plane lighting thing. Is it? Maybe it's these. And then no new weather at the moment in Pittsburgh. Again, we have the airport to ourselves, so it really doesn't matter what we use in terms of runways. So at the moment it's bang in the middle between whether we use 28 or 10. Technically we could use 32, but as I said, it's a very short runway and also leaves us with a fairly long taxi as well. So maybe, you know, obviously I'm kind of tempted away from that. I will just have a quick look actually at the airport's like reference charts to see if it has any advice in terms of what runway you're advised to use, because sometimes they have, you know, if the winds are a bit half and half, they have like preferable runways that you're supposed to use. Doesn't look like we have any of those though, so sadly nothing really of help there, so never mind. It's fine. Right, there's our top descent look appearing on there, so we'll be descending pretty soon. Probably about 10 minutes away. Yep. Obviously because of the headwind we've got at the moment. It means that even 70 miles takes quite a while to actually fly. And we've been in the air an hour. Well, we've pushed back an hour. We've been in the air 53 minutes at the moment, and we've just passed Conji at 53 minutes in. Are we on time? Or I suspect we're about a minute late-ish. No, we're about on time. On what's in brief said that, you know, it said we'd be at Conji at 53 minutes in, and we were. So that's pretty good actually, pretty much exact. There we go. There's not really a lot to do now. I guess we can just kind of chill out here for a little bit. And see there, 164 miles to Pittsburgh. And so yeah, not actually that far to go. Actually, wait a minute. Are we descending with just 100 miles to go? We are as well. That's because of the headwind, isn't it? It'll take us a while to do that 100 miles, so we can descend later. That's why. It's kind of good then, the headwind, for descending at least. Means we can stay up here at cruise for a bit longer. Hello in the chat. Hope you're enjoying the stream. Descending about, well, 8 minutes-ish, 9 minutes. Into Pittsburgh. And it is actually light for once, flying in the US at this time. It's because it's summer, I guess. As well, that's helped. Well, it's not summer just yet, it's almost summer. It's close. Yes. And the overlay is working all good. That's nice. I like that overlay up there we've got. Almost forgets there sometimes. Doesn't work with Microsoft Flight Sim, sadly, but oh well. Again, I haven't really played much Microsoft Flight Sim. I've updated it the last few days. I spent some time because they've had Sim Update 4. And I am tempted to jump back into the game and do a little bit of VFR flying. Because apparently, there's been some updates, so I'm tempted to, you know, to performance and the like. So I'm kind of tempted to jump back into the game. So hopefully, you know, we'll see what it's like. There's been a few updates to the fly-by-wire plane, but it's nowhere near what I'd say is ready. You know, fully 100%. Same with the CRJ. It's not quite. It's good, the CRJ actually, but it's I haven't tried it out or anything. It looks alright. I've kind of fallen out a little bit. I haven't been keeping an eye on what's going on with the game yet because of what's going on. But yeah, they've added the A32NX now to the marketplace on that, which is kind of interesting. But yeah, Sim Update 4 came out, and they have redone the live traffic, which is cool, and they've redone some of the ATC phraseology, but nothing else actually. Sadly. Yeah, they fixed some issues, and then I will have a quick look at performance because I haven't had a look at that yet. See if they've done anything. I think the last update they did actually fix the crashes. There's not actually much mention. Whoa, what was that? Was that a weird? That must have been a weird lighting update. The plane just went pink inside. Interesting. I don't know, they haven't actually mentioned much about fixing performance of the game. I guess there weren't many maybe not many crashing issues. Apparently they have redone some of the weather now. But it's still not, yeah, the game's getting there slowly, I think. Maybe give it a bit more time and it'll be good, although I think X-Plane is still better at the moment. Right, let's go ahead and get ready for our descent. Obviously, most things have already been done. Just going to set auto brakes to 2 now. You know, why not? Get it ready. And our descent is going to be down to 10,000 initially to Grace, and then it'll be 5,000. It'll be 3,000 then to intercept the glide slope. So that's our plans for descent. and they'll be coming pretty soon. No weather update as of yet at the airport. I think we might get a bit of a weather update by the time we actually get closer, though, to Pittsburgh. It's crazy how slowly we're going. If we were going in the other direction, we'd be going 200 knots quicker. That's how strong the wind is. 202 knots quicker going the other way. Absolutely insane. Can't believe it sometimes. The wind, right. Yeah, that weird pink effect, I think that's where I go, that's why there's a weird red light appearing as the sun is appearing. You can see there's our control work forming as we go. I like the free camera. Discovered how to use that. Just press the C button. It makes moving around on the ground as well, like looking around your aircraft on the ground, an awful lot easier as well. But don't press Shift C. That's what that issue with the camera shaking was. So if the camera starts shaking randomly, press Shift C or go into View and that cinema, whatever that says, click that and that stops your issues. At least for me anyway. And that was the solution I found on the X-Plane forum, so it's worked for other people. Alright, descending in just 20 miles. Well, 20. I'm going to say 24 miles. Let's check. Yep, bang on. I couldn't see it because it was hidden. Wow. Descent checklist, because we'll do that now. Pressurization on the altitude is set. Anti-ice, we don't need it. Approach briefing and fuel set. Discussed, I guess, with myself, because it's not like there's 2 people flying today. It'd be nice to do some shared cockpit stuff. Who knows? And speed and altitude bugs are set. And then approach. Nothing to do on there. And whoa, I accidentally just knocked out the autopilot then. There we go. I accidentally just knocked out. I just knocked the yoke. Not my yoke, but the yoke in the sim with the mouse. Landing speeds are all set up. They won't change because we already ran them through the thing. Oh, wait a minute. I've accidentally descended by 200 feet here. Oops. Just knocked the plane a little bit, and that's confused it, I think. We still have Pittsburgh to ourselves on the Vatsim network. I mean, it's got a bit busier on Vatsim. It was about 600 connections when I logged on. There's now 700, but it's still not that busy. The UK is still fairly quiet, although Gatwick is slowly becoming alive. Okay, we'll be descending in just 13 miles. Everything's all set up and ready. Hopefully we can have a smooth landing. I've been doing some slightly better landings in the Zebo lately. So hopefully it'll be a good one. And hopefully it definitely won't be won't be like slamming it into the ground at like 500 feet per minute. That's what we don't want. Right, we'll be descending pretty much about now. I'm going to go ahead and put this down at 40 nautical mile range because I can start to see all the arrival popping up on there. Right, we'll be descending really soon. It's going, all the miles are going actually really slowly because of the fact that we've got that headwind. It makes a massive difference. There's our lovely MetroAir 737 there. I forgot to put that it was a Fly UK code-share flight in the remarks. Oh well, sorry. Sorry Fly UK. Just realised that in the remarks of the flight. Didn't put it in, you're supposed to let them know you're flying as Fly UK, because MetroAir are obviously a virtual airline on their own, but I'm doing it as a code share. Never mind. Oops. Oh, wait, what? Why isn't this thing started descending? That's odd. Okay. That's... Okay, it's descending now? Normally this thing descends automatically. That's weird. Okay. Never mind. Doesn't matter. It means we're starting our descent a bit late, I guess. That's not normal for this plane. That's definitely not normal. Never mind, doesn't matter, does it? I'm a little bit confused about that though, definitely. Not normal. Usually this thing will start its descent automatically. Maybe it's because I messed up with the autopilot earlier. I accidentally pushed the thing forward a little bit, so maybe it messed it up, I don't know. I'll just move the yoke a little bit to kind of reset it into its standard position, and then hopefully we won't have any more issues then with autopilot being funny. Luckily this thing can just do a really, really quick descent on idle power, and we can catch up quite easily. I mean, it's not even that steep, it's only 4,000 feet per minute. I mean, it's a noticeable descent, obviously, but it's not like a straight dive at like 7,000 feet per minute or anything. You can see there, going down now, 27,000 feet, flight level 270 at the moment, and we've just caught up with our descent path. That's good, that's what we needed. Then a very quick descent as a result, I guess. Doesn't really matter. We've actually increased speed as well while descending, partially because we're going too quickly, but also because the wind has decreased. Hopefully now I think our speed will start to drop now. You can see there, it's starting to drop. Look at the Mach number. Tumbling down. So the plane's just in idle throttle at the moment, so it should just should gradually slow down. If it needs some help later, we'll give it. Let's go ahead and get the ILS frequency in. Why not? It's saying drag required, but obviously because we're not missing out on our descent profile, it's not required just yet. And the plane is slowing itself down, okay? So nothing to kind of think about yet, it's all fine. Right, again, only plane heading to Pittsburgh still. I'm going to keep with the runway, no, Pittsburgh. I'm going to keep with runway 28. I think the wind will probably end up changing by the time I get down there anyway. At least at the moment, the wind direction doesn't look like it's going to, and obviously we're at 22,000 feet still, so that's probably why. Right, I'm just going to quickly preset the pressure for Pittsburgh. At the moment it's 2983. Look at that, broken at 300 feet, those clouds. It's going to be interesting, I think, our arrival into Pittsburgh with this kind of that low cloud. Will be on autopilot until probably like right at the end of the approach. And we'll stick by minimums. If we have to go around, we have to go around. Hopefully we'll be okay. You can see it's pretty much light now here in Pittsburgh. By the time we actually break out the cloud, I think it will be pretty much fully daytime, which is pretty cool. This thing's slowed down a lot, look at that, without me even deploying speed brakes once. Now you can see at the moment this thing is planning like a... It really annoys me that the Zebo does this. Is there a way for... I'm going to have a look now if there's a way to get it to not do that. Because it really annoys me that it does a... rather than doing just a... It does like a step-by-step descent. But generally, it's a good idea if you have a... yeah, generally it's a good idea if you have a... What's wrong with me? It's a good idea if you have like a step-by-step. It doesn't do step-by... What's altitude hold? No, it doesn't do anything. We'll keep it at the moment. Right, 18,000, set landing pressure, and seatbelt signs can come on. I'm going to set runway heading on the heading bug, which is 281. Doing quite a slow descent for the moment. And I'll have to be taking control of the descent ourselves then, thanks to the Zebo's slightly annoying systems with how it works and how it does the with how it does its VNAV descents. But it doesn't look like there's anything I can do to stop it, so I guess tough. The cloud doesn't look that thick, to be honest. I can see the ground from here, so I don't know whether the... Could be explaining live weather being funny. Oh, the weather has actually updated. It's now broken at 600 feet, 10 miles visibility. So the visibility has gone up to the maximum now. Altimeter is 2984. Sadly, the wind has gone now slightly... Literally just now, no rain reported at the moment. It's light rain, but if you look at the remarks, there's 0 inches of rain reported, so... It should be pretty good. But yeah, 030 the wind has now gone round to, which is definitely more in favour of runway 10. Gradually, but we're going to have to stick with 28 right now, because we've already started the descent, and we've already started the arrival, in fact, so haven't really got a choice. Again, it doesn't really matter, because we're actually the only, you know, it's like we're flying offline. There's not a single ATC or plane near Pittsburgh, so... Maybe we should have switched a little bit earlier, but never mind, can't really change that now. Again, it's basically, it's still a crosswind no matter which runway we choose. Maybe runway 32 could have been quite good, but again, it's only 8,000 feet. I don't know. We're all good now, though. We're on the approach, so I'm not going to change anything now. Think about it next time, maybe. Make left turn around to Grace now. And we're going to put the altitude we need to be at down to 3,000, which is the glide slope start altitude. This plane slowed down absolutely insanely for some reason, and we're also going to take manual control of the descent now because of that speed restriction later on. Actually, I'll do it after Grace. Let the plane handle the speed change. Okay, cool. Pretty good. We should be landing pretty soon. Yeah, only 40 miles to go. It's kind of crept up on me, that. But yeah, not far to go at all now. Until our landing. At the moment, at least, the wind is actually looking pretty much perfect for runway 28. So I'm guessing if the wind does end up being wrong, I mean, because we're only 40 miles away, remember, and we're only at 10,000 feet. We're into the area now where it's positive temperature. Right, landing lights can come on. And is this plane going to start slowing down? Why is it on to 260 knots? Okay, we'll take manual control now anyway. So we'll go 1,500 feet per minute, and we'll slow it right down to about 240 knots. And it doesn't look... Okay, we'll just level it off here quickly to let the plane slow, and then we'll continue our descent then as well. And see, there we go. Plane is now successfully slowing down, and then I'm going to go ahead and take back over the approach. We'll go about just a nice, gentle 500 feet per minute, I think should be good for now, and then we'll adjust it as the VNAV path catches up. So we're looking good. All the lights are good. Runway turn-offs can actually come off as well. No, they can come on when you're landing. It's weird, they're always used before takeoff. You turn them off before going onto the runway. And they use as extra visibility when taxiing if needed, but then landing, some airlines turn them on final, some airlines just don't use them, and some airlines turn them on below 10,000, and then some airlines turn them off straight after exiting the runway, and others turn them off when they're at the gate. So it seems like really, I don't know, it seems like more like the runway turn-offs are more of an airline procedure thing, rather than you have to do this exact thing at this time. So different airlines have different rules. Just slow it down a little bit more. We'll just do it gradually, very gradual slow down. We're still 28 miles away, remember. We're at 900 feet per minute now. Alright, 1,000 feet per minute. Just keep making the descent a little bit. We'll go 1,200 feet per minute now. Bit of a steeper descent. Hopefully we can catch back up with our descent path a bit more, or at the moment that's not the case. Go 1,400 feet per minute. I don't think we need any more than that though. There you go, that's pretty much exact 1,400 feet per minute. So what we'll do, we'll go 1,600 and then we'll go 1,400 once we've caught up. So we're looking pretty good. No rain at the moment. Again, apparently, according to the weather, there's only 0.00 inches of rain. but that's in the remarks, but it does also say light rain in the actual main METAR itself, but obviously it's only light rain, not rain or heavy rain. So we'll see. Obviously we're not below the clouds just yet. The first layer of clouds are overcast at 2,200 apparently, so we won't be having clouds just yet. Right, down to 10 nautical miles on there, and you can see we're going to be intercepting the ILS pretty good. 1,400 feet per minute now. Drop the speed to 230, and to actually gain a bit of speed, so what we'll do, we'll go flaps 2 to help that, and then this is where we want to ease back on our descent now. Go on to final, and you can see, there we go, the plane is now properly dropping in speed, which is good. We're only doing, there you go, you can see the pitch trim is just adjusting to allow us to do the proper 900 feet per minute that I've set. Cool. No need to advise on Unicom, there's nobody in Pittsburgh. Pittsburgh, I think it's Pittsburgh, isn't it? Not Pittsburgh. Pittsburgh. It's Pittsburgh with a silent H at the end, isn't it? I think it is. Right, we can go flaps 5 as well, but I don't think we need that just yet. Go 220 knots. And not going to arm the ILS just yet, I don't think, because the glide slip's actually appearing on there now. So we'll arm the approach just in case. I don't think we'll grab it just yet. And then the runway turn-offs can come on. And landing checklist. Start switches. Can go over to continuous now. Recalls checked. Speed brakes, we'll go ahead and arm those. There. And landing gear, that stuff will all be done a bit later. I'm just doing the first bits so we can get them out of the way. Don't need to do them on final then. Down to 210 knots now. And we'll go flaps 10. I thought I'd only gone flaps 5 to start with. We can go flaps 10, it's fine. I thought we'd only gone I'm on the glide slip and the ILS now. Yeah, I thought we'd only gone to flaps 2, and we're going to 5. Never mind, it doesn't matter because we're below the speed for that setting now anyway. So it's okay, it's safe. Is that my throttle moving? What is that? Okay. Some of the axes on my throttle quadrant are going a bit weird actually. Right, I think we're all good now. We are just 9 miles away. No rain at the moment. What I'm gonna do, actually I won't use the wipers. I honestly don't think it's raining. Actually, I'll turn the wipers over to low, just in case, so I don't need to do it right on final. Just as a little preparation for when it happens, if it does rain. And the plane's slowing down successfully. We can't go any more than flaps 10, remember, until we deploy the gear. And we're going to be using 137 plus 5, 142 is going to be our landing speed. Drop it to 170 knots, and we're going to put the gear down. And going through the clouds, this will be when we know if it's raining or not. It's 9 degrees outside, so we don't need to worry about icing. I'm going to go flaps full because we're good. Actually, we're not good for flaps full. We're only good for flaps 30. Can't go any more lower than that. I'm going to go down to 160 knots. And it is raining, so I'm glad I configured the wipers now. Whoa! There you go. That's the weather I was worried about. Look at that. Can't see anything. Yeah, that's the weather I was interested in. Weirdly, we haven't got a DME with the ILS. It's okay, because I know we can see we're 5 miles out and we can see we're established, but it's a bit weird. Happens every now and then in X-Plane. We're going to drop to final approach speed now, and we're going to go flaps 40. Now I can't, the autopilot and the auto throttle needs to stay. I'll take control of the auto throttle just so we can disconnect the autopilot quickly if we need to, because it could come down to right before minimums this. We'll see. Nobody in Pittsburgh at the moment, but yeah, we'll see what happens with minimums. Whoa, is that a new layer of cloud we might be breaking through? This is some interesting weather, this. Some right interesting weather. We're still a good 900 feet above minimums at the moment, so we're okay.
1,000.
Oh, there's 1,000 feet.
1,000 feet stabilized, Mr. Perch altitude set.
What is the Mr. Approach altitude? I will set that now, actually. 5,000. That reminded me of that little thing to set it. Because I think we may have to go around it, although it doesn't give me confidence, because the weather doesn't update much in X-Plane, does it? So if we just try again, it'll probably be the same weather conditions again. I thought I just saw something then. We're still nowhere near minimum, so we're okay. Oh, there we go. Right. Autopilot disconnect. That was low. That was quite low cloud, that. Not quite as low as the weather report said. Actually, no, it was about 600 feet, wasn't it? Earlier, it was 200, it was 300 feet, so the cloud conditions risen since then. Couldn't imagine what it was like earlier here in Pittsburgh. It's always cool when you break out the clouds like that.
Approaching minimum 200.
And we've got a bit of crosswind, although the wind's a lot lighter and it's from a slightly different direction. Actually, no, the speed of it's okay. The direction is definitely slightly different, though, than what the METAR said.
30,
Idle the power.
20, 10.
Oh, this is going to be a rough one. Knew it. Oh, for some reason, I think I idled it a tiny bit too early. I was going too slowly. The second touchdown was a good one. Right, reverse is out. That was a bit of a shame. That was a bit of a poor landing. Never mind. I mean, it was just basically just dropped out of the sky.
80 knots.
Okay, this is an interesting one. I'm using left rudder and turning left, and the plane did not want to turn left. Right, reverse is in. We're okay. That wasn't the best of landings, but hey, the second touchdown was good. Sorry, passengers. Right, make a left turn here. Why have we got a Ryanair announcement, by the way? It's only just occurred to me, but why? And there we go. Hello and welcome everyone to Pittsburgh. Bit of a rough one there, sorry. Right. APU on. Engine starts reserves the opposition, all the lights are off and the taxi light is on. And we'll make a left turn and go down Bravo and then taxi in to the terminal via Charlie 4. There we go. Hello and welcome everyone. That was a bit of a rough landing again, but oh well. I've been doing really smooth landings in the Zebo, and then as soon as I do a stream, it's a rubbish land day, honestly. So I just dropped out of the sky. Right, wipers are back to intermittent now, because it's really light rain here. It's really not very heavy rain at all. There we go. T-gas can come off as well, because there's nobody here, so we don't need it on the ground. But those intermittent wipers are actually very intermittent. There we go. Hello and welcome everyone to Pittsburgh. Flight time 1 hour 27 minutes, so pretty much what was planned. 1 minute quicker than what was planned, I actually think. Although we did take a slightly different SID out of Boston, remember? So that's probably why. We took a different runway, which did shorten our route probably by about 5 miles. Right, mate, right onto Charlie 4. That was a good flight. Bit of a shame about the landing, but you know, they can't all be good landings, can they? The second touchdown was good at least. I just idled it a bit too early, I think. We need to learn. And then we'll make a right turn to the Delta gates here and connect it to one of the jetways, hopefully, if they decide to work. APU power can come on. Tax lights can come off now because we're approaching the ramp. Don't want to, you know, surprise all those ramp agents there with the lights. Right, and the wing light can come off now as well. And we'll make a right turn into stand 86, Delta 86 it should be, is it? Yep. Delta 86, just 86 in this game. Nice airport, actually, Pittsburgh. Right, there we go. Lines up, hopefully, pretty good. Yeah, wow. Lines up perfectly with no marshaller. Now it's just about waiting for the SamWorld Jetways thing to appear on the side to say that we are within range of a jet bridge, but that hasn't come up, so I don't know whether we've already gone past that point, or whether the jetways just decided not to work again. Again, it almost never works, this plugin, to be honest. SamWorld Jetways. Right. Engines off. But yeah, SamWorld Jetways is definitely a program that probably works less than I think it works less than it doesn't work. Never mind, we'll just use stairs, it's fine. Ground handling. Right, wipers can come off. Fuel pumps can come off as well. Packs off. Engine bleed off. Trim air can come off as well. And the window heats too. And the probe heats. And there we go. That's probably about it now. All we need to do is quickly set chocks and GPU connect. We'll leave the parking brake on though, because otherwise those ground crew won't work. They'll disappear because they'll think we've turned off our parking brake. Ground power on. APU off. And the engine's fully pretty much spooled down. We'll just wait for the temperature's now disappeared off both of them. And they are pretty much spooled down, the engines. So we're going to go ahead and turn off the anti-collision light. And it looks like the passenger bus and the stairs are in place. So let's go ahead and open everything. Elect gens can come off. And there we are. That is it. That's everything off. Fuel damper can come off as well. Seatbelt signs off. We've got all the hydraulic pumps off actually. And there we go. That is it. Hello, welcome everyone to I was just opening the isolation valve, and then that means we can leave these hydraulic pumps on like they are when the aircraft is cold and dark. And there we go. That is it. Pretty good flight that. Again, bit of a rough landing sadly, but you can't have the whole flight be 110% smooth, can you? The rest of the flight was good and smooth. And there we are. That is it. Again, sadly the jet bridge deciding not to work, but that's quite a regular occurrence with SamWorld Jetways. It's the one thing I dislike about the add-on is the fact that it just doesn't work sometimes. But there we go. Cool. That was a good little flight, good little stream. Hope everyone enjoyed. Hopefully we're doing a bit more flying because we've got the next week to chill out a bit more. So hopefully more flying for me. And some iRacing. But anyway, not sure how much will be on the channel. Hopefully I'll record a few videos, but we'll see. Hope everyone enjoyed that, and I hope to see you in the next stream. Did I turn off the APU? I did, yeah. Cool. Just wasn't sure there a minute. You know, we'll turn off everything. Turn off every single thing. Make it properly cold and dark, you know? Well, not cold and dark. We'll keep everything else, just not the because we're obviously passengers are still disembarking. There we go. Hope everyone enjoyed that. Hope to see you in the next stream. And I'll leave you with the background music and the end screen. Bye-bye.